Ciba-Geigy is color. Ciba-Geigy is pharmaceuticals. Ciba-Geigy is plastics and additives. Ciba-Geigy is agricultural products and many specialty chemicals. And most of all, Ciba-Geigy is people. Thousands of people, thousands of products, all dedicated to making life better. The Science Screen Report is proudly presented by Ciba-Geigy.
The Science Screen Report, bringing you each month the latest discoveries, developments, and applications of science, engineering, and medicine, made to help solve the problems of modern life. Each day, the sun rises on a world with fewer resources and greater resource needs. To help close this gap, Canadian and United States technologists are seeking better ways to conserve resources through the recycling of wastes into fuel, power, and alternate raw materials. On the mudflats near San Francisco, local artists used trash from a nearby dump to create these sculptures. Rather than artistic statements, today's scientific experts are seeking to find ways to use or reclaim garbage, trash, and industrial waste. In Ames, Iowa, in the Midwestern United States, a power plant has been built which, fired by private and municipal waste, can generate large quantities of electricity. As in many such operations, metal is first removed for reuse. The remaining combustible materials are separated out and mixed with coal. The fuel, 1 part trash to 5 parts coal, is burned in modified boilers. Similar plants have operated for half a century in Holland and Denmark. In Saugus, Massachusetts, on the Atlantic coast, waste from nearby towns is used to make steam, which is piped across the river to a manufacturing plant. The same plant once needed 50 million liters of fuel oil a year to operate. In a like manner, superheated air piped from the incinerators in Paris, France, has greatly reduced that city's oil needs. Near Palos Verdes, California, buried landfill waste is now being tapped as an energy source. The odorless methane gas from the underground plant and animal waste, or biomass, is drawn off, purified, and distributed to the surrounding community to supplement natural gas. One more approach to biomass is being tested in San Diego, California, refining the material into liquid fuels. The plant and animal waste, heated to 1400 degrees Celsius, starved of oxygen, is transformed into low-grade fuel oil. What took natural processes millions of years takes the chemical technologists about a week. Within sight of where the first United States energy plan was initiated, still more advanced reuse technology is being devised at the National Center for Resource Recovery. The sophisticated new systems are tested on local trash. A shredder tears apart bulky items to ease processing. Next, blasts from an air classifier separate out lighter materials such as paper and cardboard. To be compressed into fuel pellets, which can be burned like lumps of coal. Such energy pellets might be formed from wood pulp or agricultural wastes as well. Meanwhile, the heavier fractions go under a magnet, which pulls out iron and steel. Aluminum scrap is removed by a new device called an eddy current separator, a kind of magnet for aluminum. Glass, pulverized and washed, is dumped into a special fluid. Clinging to the bubbles, it rises to the top where it is skimmed off, to be dried and reused. Though more and more new recycling technology is available, the National Center stresses that a community system must fit its own special needs and lifestyles. New Orleans, Louisiana, which generates about 10,000 metric tons of trash a month, recently set up a plant which can recover 1,000 metric tons each of metals and glass for use by local businesses. This giant machine hauls away the biomass component, here to be used as landfill. A counterpart of this New Orleans unit outside Rome, Italy, sorts urban refuse into metals, biomass, compost, and burnables to make steam. The New Orleans combustibles may be mixed with fossil fuels to generate steam or electricity. Studies have shown that most of the world's powerhouses could be modified to consume urban refuse in a similar manner. In Canada, the Central Mortgage and Housing Organization recently engaged the Ontario Research Foundation to devise a total waste management system based on natural processes. The result? The Canadian Water Energy Loop, or CanWell system, is now in the final stages of development. In these tanks, CanWell turns raw sewage into an effluent purer than most natural water sources. The system concentrates the organic waste so that the biochemical and biological processes occur in the smallest units of space and time. In the first stages, microscopic life assimilates the waste, converting it to cellular material and other substances. Sludge worms, for example, convert complex organic molecules into simpler ones, which in turn are utilized by bacteria, paramecia, and other microorganisms. The microorganisms also produce harmless carbon dioxide and water. Oxygen for the microorganisms is provided by an air injection system, which also drives the sludge and liquids from one processing stage to another. To make sure that the microbial mass works most efficiently, sludge from the last tank is separated out by flocculation. An airlift then moves the sludge holding the microbial mass to the first tank, where it can continue its work on the incoming sewage. This process also replaces any life forms killed by the raw sewage. The carefully regulated oxygen supply also allows several delicate life forms to transform any ammonia present into the harmless gas nitrogen. After the microbial mass has done most of its work, alum is added, causing phosphates to be precipitated out. The result is a clear intermediate effluent, which may still contain harmful bacteria. An injection of ozone, a form of oxygen, destroys such organisms. The Canwell effluent is now so pure that it can be safely discharged without dilution. If the water is for personal consumption, Canwell's water polishing unit, utilizing advanced technology, brings it to the highest quality standards. A final ozone injection ensures purity. Canwell's solid waste treatment unit is designed to dispose of sludge. It also extracts energy from domestic refuse by using it as a fuel. The exhaust from this clean-burning incinerator is free of dangerous particulate matter and cool enough to be released at ground level. Figures indicate that a large apartment building could use it to supply 80% of its own hot water needs. To demonstrate its efficiency and reliability, a Canwell unit serving 1,000 apartments has been installed in this building, where its performance is monitored by computers. The data collected is demonstrating the flexibility of the three components: sewage treatment, solid waste treatment, and water polishing, used in any combination or individually. Today, there's probably no aspect of the environment or area of the world that could not benefit from some application of Canadian water energy loop technology. Even if society returns to the conservation ethic of our ancestors, it will always generate some waste. It is of great and growing importance that we recycle that waste and so put it to use again. Thus, we will safeguard and conserve the world's resources and ecosystems for ourselves and our descendants. Science Screen Report has been presented by Ciba Geigy Corporation, with headquarters in Ardsley, New York, as part of its continuing program in support of science education.